Minister for Corporate Affairs Sachin Pilot, BJP Vice President Smriti Irani, from Washington Swaminathan Iyer, from Goa Lord Meghnad Desai. With me in the studio, Senior Fellow at the Center for Policy Research, formerly with FICCI, Rajiv Kumar. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Sachin, what did you think of Rahul Gandhi's speech, if I may ask you?
Well, I thought it was a speech that he made with full candor, and he was very honest about how he feels things must shape out in the future. It was an engagement with the corporate world, don't forget, so it wasn't really a wide canvas of issues that he was supposed to be talking about, but the fact that he addressed some of the issues and concerns of the corporate world and how I think he understands the philosophy of politics and how it must be more inclusive and moving forward. A robust growth is a prerequisite for a vibrant India. I thought he spoke very well. He spoke with full honesty, and he endeared himself to the corporate world, which some people have been questioning for some time, but I think he did a good job of balancing both those aspects.
Mr. Rajiv Kumar, do you think he endeared himself to the corporate world? Are they looking for sincerity or clarity?
I mean, he endeared himself to the extent that it is the first time ever that he chose and he agreed to engage with them, which is a big change. But I would have thought that if he had actually given some straight answers to the problems faced by the industry today, for which reason they are moving out of the country and setting up shop and manufacturing capacities outside our country, and manufacturers are becoming traders, in effect, that would have been a much better thing to do. So that's the first thing. So yes, good, but not good enough, if you like. And my real point is that he talked about inclusion. I would have said, and I've always said, that real inclusion comes from good employment, and good employment comes from good growth. If he had made that link clearly, then people would have said, yes, the talk about inclusion is substantive, and that he really means business, and therefore he wants to support rapid growth rather than lay down a vision which is quite blurred and which I must say doesn't have its specificities which actually today the industry is looking for.
So was there too much of repeat value? Lord Meghnad Desai, what did you make of the speech?
Well, not bad, no harm done. He's on a learning curve, and at least we should note that this is the first speech he has given to a non-Congress audience. Okay, so but he clearly doesn't have grasp of details, and his vision is rather broad and blurred. I think his advisors have told him that he should be anecdotal and chat here and there. But a speech like that could not be made to an audience of 10, 20,000. That requires very different kind of public speaking than what Rahul Gandhi has. So I think he has to bone up on some details of policy. He has to actually sharpen his speech, because this sort of anecdotal style may go all right in a small audience, but it is not a good style of public speaking. You hear someone like Vajpayee or Narendra Modi or even Sharad Pawar in his good days, they were or Mr. Advani. They are real good public speakers, and Rahul has a long way to go before he becomes that kind of good public speaker.
Swami, in Washington, he says,
yes.
let's talk about the content of his speech as well as the style before I take the floor to Smriti Irani.
Right. I'd say, look, this was a kind of speech just for breaking the ice. A nice introductory, goody-goody speech. It said nothing particularly controversial. If the country was looking for a new direction, certainly we got no new direction. Salman Khurshid said sometime again, we are still waiting to know what exactly is in his mind, which direction is he going to take us in. We don't know yet. He didn't come up with any specific measures for some very major challenges that we are facing right now. We got a terrific crash in our growth rate. We got a huge current account deficit, a lot of issues about corruption and misgovernance. We didn't see any specific measures on that. We have a problem that doing business in India is difficult. We are only 130th out of 183 countries. Nothing specific about that. Human Development Index, we just don't seem to improve, nothing specific on that. So, okay, he's spoken very broadly about, okay, we need growth, it has to be inclusive. These are goody-goody statements, but we need to get beyond that. I note, however, that he talked about the need for decentralization. And out here, why should this be in the future? What has he been doing for the last 8-9 years? They have been in power. Can it be said that the Congress-ruled states are paragons of Panchayati Raj? Can it be said that Maharashtra, shall we say, is a paragon of Panchayati Raj? It is not the case. So as I said, it's not enough to talk. You actually have to do. This has been a nice introduction, perhaps from the point of view of internal Congress dynamics, that he's being prepared for a bigger thing. So it's okay, you shouldn't expect
No, but what this internal party dynamics is of little relevance anymore, Mr. Swaminathan Iyer. Frankly, it's gone on for too long. Nobody's bothered about the internal party dynamics. The question really here is this, that I'd like to take it to Smriti, we'll come back to you, Sachin, that is Rahul Gandhi trying too hard to acknowledge all the mistakes of UPA 1 and UPA 2 while at the same time simultaneously setting himself apart from it? Is he admitting the failures of UPA 1 and UPA 2? No, why are you nodding your head there, Mr. You don't agree, Meghnad Desai, because Mr. Desai, he says there's no infrastructure. He says there's a terrible education system. He says there's terrible systems of representation. He says there is no value chain. There is no share of voice. He has criticized almost everything, Dr. Desai.
Yeah, but see, Arnab, these criticisms are general. They don't relate to UPA 1, UPA 2. You know, he's acting as if somebody else has been running the country for 60 years, not his family. You know, where does the rigidity come from? Where does the bad university system come from? Well, you know, the DNA which he claims he has been running this country for 50, 60 years. Now, he is not going to acknowledge that they are Congress responsibilities. He doesn't want to say anything about today. It's all about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jam tomorrow. Elect me and I will give you paradise. But right now, I won't tell you why we are not there.
You know, it will be quite, you can't expect him to, you know, accept responsibility for all the 5 decades.
No, but did he accept?
No,
did he accept?
No, we can't expect him to do so. Or I'm saying that what we could have expected was to give clear direction and specific measures for the future.
You see, no, we are standing here after 9 years of a UPA government. Let me get over to Smriti first, then I'll come back. Because the critical point is this. Smriti, if you can still hear me, I saw your earpiece go out. The critical point is this. He says people don't have enfranchisement, they don't have boats. People need to be pushed up like the waves. India is a complex country. We are dealing with complex problems. There is no infrastructure. There is no education. Systems are bad. How do you as a BJP Vice President read the speech of the Congress Vice President?
Oh, that's a loaded question, Arnab. But I think all the gentlemen on your channel tonight are being extremely kind with Mr. Gandhi and giving him the benefit of the doubt as though he's a new kid on the block. They need to be reminded that he has been there since the UPA 1 came into power. They need to be reminded that he today speaks of nothing about the future in very concrete terms. When I speak about leadership, Arnab, there are 3 things that a leader needs to do. A leader first needs to acknowledge that yes, we have challenges before us, which Rahul Gandhi did not do. A leader then is to articulate how those challenges are to be met, which Rahul Gandhi did not articulate. And then a leader has to inspire confidence that yes, I or we as a unit or as a team will ensure that we deliver on the solutions that we discuss, which Rahul Gandhi obviously did not inspire. So I feel that ultimately the only thing that I heard consistently in his speech was this, that don't come to me for solution, boss. And in fact today he even threw in the Prime Minister for good measure, and he said if you are thinking that you can expect everything out of Dr. Manmohan Singh, then you can keep on expecting. So at a time where the nation faces
suppose I counter
many economic
Smriti,
challenges,
1 minute. Smriti, if I were to counter that by saying that give him a chance, he's being honest. He's not saying the Prime Minister is a magic wand. Maybe he's being more honest than BJP leaders.
Apply myself to the question that you posed to me? Can I apply myself to the question that you posed to me?
Yeah, go on.
You speak about honesty, Arnab. I will appreciate honesty not only in the words that were spoken, but also the action that takes place after that speech is delivered. Well, in fact, when you're talking about honesty, Arnab, I hope that you'll roll back that speech and watch that Girish, the painter of skyscrapers, suddenly turns into Girish, the carpenter, in 10 minutes. So how honest was that speech is something you and I can debate even after news hour.
Sachin,
but can I even talk about the honesty of intention? Can I just finish?
Okay.
He speaks about the need to strengthen democracy at the grassroots. He speaks about pradhans and panchayats. But what does he do when it comes to the pradhans and the sarpanchas and the panchayats in Jammu and Kashmir, where they are being killed after the LET keeps giving warning and puts up posters in public areas? He does not go to Jammu and Kashmir and helps implement the 73rd Amendment. He talks about ports from where dreams are to set sail. And the Kandla port, where 35% of the nation cargo comes and goes, for the past 2 to 3 years, I have publicly asked for the railway and the infrastructure there to be strengthened so that industry in the entire country can benefit.
No, why do you expect all these issues? Again, playing devil's advocate with you, Smriti Irani. Why do you expect all these issues?
I'm only saying...
Smriti, why do you expect all these issues to be dealt with in an introductory address of the CI?
Arnab, you have to correct yourself. Arnab, I want you just to correct yourself. I have no expectations from Rahul Gandhi. I'm just showing you the difference between honesty of words and honesty of intent and what truly transpires in terms of action on the ground.
Response from Sachin Pilot to Smriti Irani, please. 1 minute. Let Sachin respond. And Sachin, by the way, I have another question. Why didn't he speak once? You know what industry wanted to hear today was about corruption, perhaps, absolutely. Or about a policy paralysis.
Or the land reform bill.
Or the land reform bill.
Or the environment logjam.
No, let's simply talk about corruption and policy paralysis. Was it deliberate, in your view, not to refer to these two issues even once?
To all your other panelists, let me get... Okay, I'll try and answer as best as I can, but please be patient with me.